Alright, so the Game Awards really have a long history. And if I keep it in short, the first gaming award was known as the Archie Award. Yes, the OG gaming trophies. But sadly, it only lasted till 1983. Because in that year, the gaming industry was, well, kinda crashed. And after the Archie Awards, we got a bunch of new awards. Like the Golden Joystick Awards, the Interactive Achievement Awards, the Game Developers Choice Awards, and before the main game of the awards, we had the Spike TV VGAs, which is of course the Spike TV Video Game Awards. And this was the award function that lasted the most. Like it started in 2001 and it ended in 2013, nearly 12 years. And then in 2014, Geoff launched the Game Awards to make gaming feel as big as movies and TV. And to make it more appealing amongst the people, he brought in many things like live orchestras, celebrities, esports moments, and a lot of world premieres. And guys, here's the list of the winners since 2014. Dragon Age Inquisition, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Overwatch, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro Shadow Die Twice, The Last of Us Part 2, It Takes Two, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and finally Astrobot in 2024. And since then, every year we have crowned a Game of the Year. And today we are ranking all 11 winners from the weakest to the absolute best. But why are we starting from 2014 and not before? Well, because as I said before, the Game of the Year Awards positions gaming as equal to film and music. It's like they wanted to make this Game Awards the Oscars of gaming. So before we dive into this video, I wanted to tell you that it was pretty hard to rank them all. And it was almost impossible to rank 8 of them. But there you go. And this is my ranking according to my taste and my views. And you can share your list in the comment section. So please, let's stay positive. And every game here in this list is almost a masterclass, except for number 11, which is Overwatch, the game which started my NSFW addiction. Alright, so let's unpack Overwatch at number 11. In 2016, this game wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural reset. Blizzard dropped a hero so polished, so vibrant, it made Call of Duty look outdated. Tracer, Iconic, Diva, these characters were just legendary. And also Angels, of course. It was like a Disneyland for gamers. Rainbows, teamwork, and loot boxes that didn't feel illegal. The hype was real. 6-player squads, ultimate combos, and that's why it won the Game of the Year, because it deserved it, right? But over time, Blizzard messed it up. Mercy got nerfed into the ground, Bridget broke the meta, loot boxes started feeling questionable. And today, Overwatch feels like that one friend who used to be fun but now just kinda exists. You log in, got stomped by Smurf Genji, and remember, oh yeah, this is why I quit. It's still fun in small doses, but the real magic's gone. And now the game is not evergreen. In 2025, it's only used for NSFW content. At number 10, we have Astrobot. Now imagine a cupcake. Sweet, fun, makes you happy. But is it a full meal? No, right? Astrobot is just like that. This game is pure joy. It feels like Pixar made a platformer. The creativity, 10v10. The nostalgia, perfect. The haptic feedback, amazing. It's a love letter to PlayStation history. You'll spot a Crash Bandicoot's pants, Kratos' beard, and even a Bloodborne lantern hiding in the background. A total nostalgia bomb. And can we talk about how this little guy makes Mario look edgy? Not gonna lie, Astro is just so cute. But here's the thing, Astrobot is really short. Like, you guys can just finish this game in a weekend. It's an amazing experience, but it doesn't have the depth the top games have on this list. And look, I get it why it won. After years of cinematic, soul-crushing, difficult games, Astrobot came with a warm hug. But still, in front of games like Black Myth Wukong or Elden Ring Shadow of Earth, it stands nowhere, right? And now let's get controversial with number 9, Dragon Age Inquisition. Now Dragon Age Inquisition was massive. It's like BioWare threw Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and a fantasy dating sim into a blender. The story was great, saved the world from the hole in the sky. The characters were also good, but Darian's mustache deserves its own award. And the choices? You can be a saint, a tyrant, or that guy who flirts with everyone. It's just a true RPG OG game. But let's be real, 2014 was a slow year. The competition was Shadow of Mordor and Bayonetta 2, which were not really great games in my opinion. So you can say that Inquisition won by default, but because Dragon Age won doesn't mean it's a flawless game, right? There was still some problems with the game, like the world was huge, but quests were full of fetch this and fetch that and all kind of stuff. The combat was kinda confused. It's part action and part MMO, and the pacing sometimes amazing and sometimes just staring at a war table for 20 minutes straight. But hey, we should give it credit where it's due, right? Inquisition saved this franchise after Dragon Age 2 almost buried it. The lore is thick, the soundtrack slaps, and the DLC, The Trespasser, is better than the main game. Plus, it gives us memes like Solus, you bald liar, and all that. And it's still a great game, but compared to what came later, it just doesn't hit as hard. Number 8, The Last of Us Part 2. This game is like a really well-made movie. Incredible, emotional, but also exhausting. It can be good for you, but did you really enjoy it? Well, let's unpack the chaos. First off, this game is stunning. The graphics is just amazing, and the voice acting is Oscar worthy, not gonna lie. And the gameplay was just like the first game, but with more ways to stab people. It's a technical masterpiece, wrapped in a therapy bill of course. But still, this game has divided fans like a chainsaw through a birthday cake. The story was bold. You'll play as two people and one of them is, I would say, controversial. The pacing is longer than Lord of the Rings director's cut. You'll spend 25 hours swinging between rage, tears, and why am I still playing? And that ending, well, let's just say it's okay, not very good or not very bad either. Now the hate on this game is just that some people called it a woke propaganda, while others cried character assassination. But me, well, I call it art, messy, painful art. But hey, at least it made us feel something right. Gameplay wise, it's tense, the combat is brutal, and the stealth is stressful. But the real star of this game are the detail. Dogs remember your scent, blood pools realistically, and you can even pet a dog before it tries to murder you. Priorities. So why did I rank it on number 8? Well, because for all its brilliance, it's exhausting. Like, it's a 10v10 movie that you can only watch once. Number 7, It Takes Two. Now this game is pure fun. A co-op adventure filled with crazy ideas, creative levels, and somehow teaches us a relationship or two. I played this with a friend and we laughed so hard our parents checked on us. That's the magic of this game. It Takes Two is wildly creative. One minute you're smashing each other with giant hammers, the next you're slow and dancing with a leaf blower. The co-op mechanics are just genius. It's really great. So next up is a game that was literally harder than my college finals. Number 6, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. First off, this game is brutal. It's not hard. It's really hard. The combat in this game is all about precision, parry, dodge, attack or die. There's no easy mode, no co-op, no summons. You cannot do anything. It's like playing a chess game against a grandmaster, while they're actively trying to stab you, of course. But here's the thing, Sekiro isn't just hard for the sake of being hard. It's fair. Every death teaches you something. Each boss is a puzzle, and when you finally beat that one enemy who's killing you for hours, it's like winning a lottery. The happiness is real. The bosses in this game are also great, like Lady Butterfly will make you question your life choices, Genshiro will make you question your sanity, and Sword Saint Ishin, he'll make you question why you even play video games. But when you finally beat him, you'll feel like a god. A sweaty, exhausted god, but a god. But why is this game on number 6? Well, because while Sekiro is a masterpiece, it's also a niche game. It's not for everyone. If you're just here for a chill samurai adventure, you'll leave with a PTSD. But if you're here for a challenge, it's unbeatable. It's not like Elden Ring, which can be an easy game if you level up and learn too much incantations. Here you have to learn the hard way. Its beauty is stunning, but of course Elden Ring or other games above this list have even greater beauty, story and audience. So next up is a game that made us all cry. Number 5, God of War. Kratos went from I will destroy Olympus to boy, pick up your toys. And somehow, it's one of the best gaming stories ever told. I remember when I first played God of War 2, it was so wild that I have never seen anything like it before. I played every God of War I could get my hands on, but eventually the series ended, just like every good thing. But I remember when God of War 2018 was first announced, it was just so hype, people went crazy to play this game. And when I played it, I was freaking speechless. The combat was brutal and satisfying. It's just a balance. The story, emotional and powerful. The father-son dynamic, perfection. Atreus is the heart of this game. He was annoying, adorable, and occasionally shooting you in the back with his arrows. And the voice acting, Oscar-worthy. Christopher Judge's boy deserves its own Grammy. The world was just stunning with zero camera cuts, making it feel like a playable movie. Every moment of this game was perfect. Even the boring parts were better than most of the fun games out there. For example, when you are on a boat, it's not just going here to there. Mimir always keeps us busy with his weird questions, riddles, and story, and it's really amazing. And it was a perfect blend of action, storytelling, and emotion. A true masterpiece. Number 4, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, this game is a whole fantasy novel series wrapped into a game. I just can't explain what I was feeling when I did my first Witcher 3 playthrough. Everywhere I go, everything I did was almost like a fantasy I always wanted to be in. The world was just massive and alive. You can see and notice every details and never get bored. I remember Witcher 3 has a 40 seconds rule. I don't remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but its world is designed to make you find something in every 40 seconds distance, so you will always be engaged. At first it was buggy and glitchy, but now it's crazy good. The side quests were better than most games' main story. Dude, this game had 2 DLC and one of them was almost as big as the original game. The developers are just crazy. I still sometimes want to play this game just because I was so attached to this game. Yes, the combat is in Dark Souls, and yes, Roach, which is of course your horse, sometimes acts like glitchy nightmare, but Witcher 3 is immortal. One of the best RPGs ever made. Next up is a game that made climbing mountains cool. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now this game truly redefined open world gaming. This was the first Zelda game I've ever played, and I played it just because of the hype it created. And why not? It looked kinda gorgeous, but when I played it, it was so calming that I don't have words. You can literally climb anything, any mountain, any landscape, anything you see. You can even solve puzzles in wild ways. There are different ways in the game to solve one puzzle. You can literally cook, chop trees, and set things on fire. It's like the freedom in the game is just unmatched. And let's talk about the real villain in this game, which is of course weapon durability. Nothing kills the vibe like your cool new sword shattering after 3 swings. It's like your phone charger breaking mid-game. In this game, 1 minute you are picking flowers, the next you're running from a laser spider screaming. But all in all, this game is peaceful, beautiful, and endlessly creative. But yeah, again, weapon durability is painful. Still, this game set a new standard and it's a modern classic. Number 2, Elden Ring. Now imagine Dark Souls meets Skyrim. But even better, this game is stunning. The world, a masterpiece. Every corner of the lands between feels alive. From the golden fields of Limgrave to the cursed lakes of Gilead. It's like Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin teamed up to create the most beautiful nightmare you ever see. And if I talk about bosses, well, Radhan is a spectacular giant warrior riding a tiny horse, summoning meteorites and basically saying, "Welcome to hell." Melina, she's the hardest boss in the gaming history, and beating her feels like winning the Olympics. And the music, it's like a symphony of pure hype. Every fight feels like a battle for the fate of the world. The gameplay, perfection. You can be a knight, a mage, a ninja, or a guy who just throw pots at dragons. The freedom is insane. And Torrent, your spirit horse, MVP. He is fast, he double jumps, and he doesn't glitches onto roofs like some horses we know. But let's be real, you'll still die a lot. This is a From Software game after all. Every moment in Elden Ring feels magical. From Software took everything they learned from a decade and perfected it. It's one of the best games ever made, but somehow still something topped it. Number 1, Baldur's Gate 3. This game didn't just win Game of the Year, it changed gaming forever. The greatest game in history. Yup, no one will say it out loud, but I said it. I'm actually not a fan of games like this. I like linear story, fun combat like DMC, God of War, or Witcher 3, but still I said it, just because how fucking well made this game actually is. This game isn't just a game of the year, it's a cultural reset, a masterpiece that didn't raise the bar, it obliterated it. Let me tell you why this game is the greatest RPG ever made. First off, the freedom. You want to seduce a vampire? Go for it. Talk to animals, become a vegan druid, turn into a wheel of cheese to solve a puzzle. This game says yeah. It's like Larian Studios handed you a D&D handbook and said, go nuts. And guess what? You'll go nuts for 200 hours. The characters, they're not NPCs. NPC. They are family. You'll love them, hate them, and cry when they leave. The voice acting, Oscar worthy. The gameplay, chess match dipped in chaos. Every fight is a puzzle. Every dialogue choice is a grenade. It's like Larian Studios looked at every AAA company and said, this is how you do it. But here's the kicker. Baldur's Gate 3 respects you. No microtransactions, no half-baked DLCs, just a complete polished labor of love that makes AAA studios look like intern. But why on number 1? Well, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't just a game. This is a revolution. It's a proof that passion beats profit. That players craft depth, not drip feed content. Then you can in fact make 10 million people care about trifling therapy sessions. It's art messy, ambitious, unapologetic art, and it's perfect. No filter, no greed, just pure passion. And that's it guys. Every Game of the Year winner ranked. What's your favorite? Drop your rankings in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and keep gaming.